Hi guys, welcome back to another episode. I'm Andrea.
And I'm Morgan, and this is Opinionated Moms.
Happy Monday, it's the day after Easter.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm doing good, and you?
I'm good. I'm
Your
good.
cute little cup.
Yes, I feel like I always do that. It's like my comfort, right there.
Yeah.
But we have stuff to talk about.
We got some stuff to talk about. Okay, so got my notes. I always have my notes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Beverly Hills is over. Low-key sad, low-key happy about it. But
I'm happy.
the housewives are still busy. Bose actually is working with Jimmy Fallon. She is going to be, sorry, I lost her job title. She's joining his new TV series as the CMO, and she will work to mentor the creatives and evaluate their work. So
Wow.
he's coming out with a new unscripted series on NBC, and it's called On Brand.
I love that. Bose is booked and busy.
Say what a job.
Yeah, I really enjoyed her first season, I'm not gonna lie. I hope they bring her back and I hope we get to see more of her. But go Bows.
Yes, I hope when she comes back that I'm done with the race conversation. Um, I feel like it's not that I'm overhearing about it. As a black person, I'll never be overhearing about it. It's that
Hmm.
I feel like we're nitpicking and it's not appropriate at certain points, and
Mm.
it's taking away the validity of when it is necessary to talk about it. Kind of like when what was her name from that was on Real on New York before they changed the cast?
Oh,
Ebony.
Ebony,
When Ebony
Ebony.
was on New York, she talked about it every episode. It's like she was beating it into them. And I was like, these rich white women are not going to get it. Like, let it
Yeah,
go. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So it's like you either vibe with them or you don't. So,
Hmm. Hmm.
but yeah, anyway, whenever next season rolls around, I just hope we're over that conversation.
I just
Um,
wanted to get fun, fun
yeah,
petty. So I'm hoping we can see that. And I think we'll be able to see that out of Bows too. So, but
yes.
yeah.
Okay, so Salt Lake City is filming. It was said they went on their cast trip, and Bronwyn came late because there are fraud allegations against her, identity fraud. Excuse
Oh,
me. So let's break it down a little bit. It's a
okay.
very long caption. I will insert it here for you guys. And I will link it as well in the description box below. But long story short, now this is all alleged, okay? But
Okay.
he was charged with identity theft and grand theft in 2021. And there's been some confusion about her name. It looks like she goes by, oh my God, y'all, I can't see. I'm trying to hold the phone down. Okay. She goes by Bronwyn Allison Newport Bradley. So the fact that she goes by Bradley and Newport, I guess there's been some confusion um, with her identity, some fraud allegations, but they're not really going into details. But they're just saying there's some charges from 2018 and 2021 that are coming up. And that's why she was a little late going on the trip.
Wait,
So
so I'm confused. But is she a criminal here? Like, did she do anything wrong, or her name was just like her name has been in cases of fraud and identity theft?
So the where I'm seeing it, it's coming from a blogger who says that they've consulted with their sources and they can't find a mugshot for her. But if you look up her name, the charges are there. So, but there's no mugshot to match. But it says this person with this name has been charged with this crime.
I can't see her being you know, there must be some sort of
I feel like that
miscommunication.
too. I feel like I don't know. I
Yeah,
just don't get that vibe from her.
I don't either. I really don't. And like her husband, who her husband is, like,
Mhm.
no way. No, no,
Yeah.
yeah. Nope, nope. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that was that. And then side note, apparently Brandi Glanville is putting out music. She has a music video out, and I was like, girl, why? Um,
What? She was like, I can't, wasn't she a model? I'm so confused.
I don't know. Oh, but also I was about to say something about her face, but also, which reminded me, She actually put out a video. There was a video on her Instagram recently where she's getting some like new rich people treatment because whatever she got in her face is
Hmm.
chemical they injected in her face is leaking acid into her mouth and all of her teeth are rotting and like falling out.
Wait, is this the stuff that Terry Dubrow did on her face?
I don't know. She didn't say. She just put out an Instagram video where she's like getting this treatment and the caption is just explaining that like there's acid leaking from her cheeks into her mouth and it's slowly poisoning her, basically.
Wait, what is going on with this poor woman? I feel
Oh,
like, was
girl.
this recently? I
Yeah,
almost knocked my glasses off my face.
it was sometime this weekend. I saw it on Instagram.
Okay, because I remember that with the whole like parasites that were like in her face. Do you remember that? She ended up
Yeah.
going to Terry Dubrow and he was going to work on her face, and I never saw an after. Um, but like, so from that treatment,
I don't
just
know.
um, like this poor woman can't catch a break when it comes to like the health issues going along with her face. That's
Yeah,
sad. That's
it's a lot.
tragic.
It's a lot.
But and also the music video, I mean, I have to watch, but I'm just like, why?
I'm gonna send it to you. And I'm gonna link it for you guys down below. You know,
I
I'm
want to be like, I don't care, but like I'm gonna go watch. So
I
clearly,
know when I saw it, like I was scrolling TikTok and I saw it and I was like, what is this? I don't want to see this as I watch the entire video.
right? That's gonna be me too. That's so funny.
Okay, and lastly, before we get to the good stuff, your girl Mia, we all know that she moved to Atlanta, but she put out her official statement either late last night or this morning that she is officially quitting Real Housewives of Potomac. So there was a chance apparently that she would, do the back and forth thing, but she has officially quit. So I really think
She
she's
quit and
trying.
she get fired.
The statement says that she's leaving.
Right, but she didn't. Okay, she probably got fired
I don't know because they said the same thing about Garcelle because Garcelle said that she left. And it's rumored, allegedly, that what Andy does or production does sometimes with housewives is that if they don't want them to come back, they give them the opportunity to like bow out gracefully. Um,
I don't think Garcelle, from what it
I
looked
don't
like to
think that
me,
happened to her.
yeah, I was gonna say Garcelle left on her terms. I truly feel Mia, I think she was on the chopping block. But yay, good for her. I don't want to take on the screens again anytime soon. She's a go heel.
Okay. But yeah, okay, so that's all we have for hot takes. Oh, because I know what we're about to talk about. So, my husband is in Atlanta working. So I decided that I was like, let me go check out Kenya's spa because I'm gonna be
Kenya,
going
more
to it.
hair care. Kenya, more hair spa. Yep.
Right.
Okay.
Like I was like, let me go check it out, see what they're talking about. Um, the website is down. She hasn't posted on Instagram in over a year. It's been like 80 something
For
weeks
her salon.
for her spa, yeah, her hair
Hmm.
spa. And I went to Google it and look at the website, and there's no website. And it said that it was permanently closed. So
Oh my gosh.
I was like, dang, I
How
actually,
far does your husband work from like her hair spa?
not far. I think it's on Peachtree, so probably like 20, 30 minutes.
Oh, okay. I
That's
was gonna
not far
say,
in Atlanta. Well, you live in LA.
yeah, I know. But I was gonna say you should be like, oh, can you just like drive down, just like take a peek?
Yeah, like I just want to see it. He's seen her. He's seen a few of the housewives. He has a part-time job and he works at this place that's like an event center. And he's seen a lot of celebrities. He's seen T.I., he's seen Tyler Perry. They recently had something that was like mad celebrities. He was like low-key FaceTiming me. He's like holding the phone like this. So I could see the celebs.
Oh my gosh, I love
He's
that.
seen Kenya. He's seen Kenya and he's seen Sheree.
Oh,
Um,
that's
so
funny.
yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Okay, well that's crazy because I mean, so we're gonna talk about her YouTube that she just dropped.
Yeah, let's talk about it, girl. What'd you think?
First of all, I loved every second of it. I love Kenya on screen, I'll be honest. And it was really nice just to, first of all, the editing,
So good.
her team, like that was really good. She looked flawless. But editing was amazing. But it was just really nice to kind of hear her side. And in my opinion, I feel like she takes accountability saying like, hey, what I did, I took it too far. I shouldn't have done that in my business and blah, blah, blah. But she's like, she did her research. And I loved how she explained how she went to production that night and she's like, and Portia was there, that she even got like her team, her investigators who did the research, and she made sure that federal law and like Georgia law, she wasn't doing anything wrong, which I was like, thank God because Kenny's no fool. You know what I mean? She's smart. I don't feel like she'd put herself in a position to, um, affect anything that has to do with her daughter. But I really enjoyed hearing her side.
That's
Um,
what she said about when she said she got attorneys and stuff. So last week we talked about how Andy did a podcast. And he was just really disappointed in her, blah blah blah. And then the other people on the podcast with him were using the phrase revenge porn. They kept saying this is revenge porn.
mhm.
And Kenya made it clear, like, no, it's not. She responded immediately that same day that it dropped, and she put it out on social media, like, this is not revenge porn. That's why I said last week, I'm like, I don't think y'all understand the
Yep,
definition of
yep,
revenge
yep.
porn. Um, but yeah, I mean, like I said, I was not able to find said photos. Now I didn't check porn websites because that's not
Mhm.
my thing. Not my
It's not what
niche.
we do here.
But if it's on a
Not
porn
even for
website, I
research.
probably
I'm
won't
just
see it.
kidding. I'm just, did you hear me? I was like, not even for research.
No,
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 I'm kidding.
no.
No, yeah, I feel like because you cleared that up last week, I was confused too. I was like, my gosh, you know, these images, they were online. So it's like she even said on her podcast on her YouTube that she said the images were accessible, still are. And I'm like,
Yeah,
so I was just I'm glad she went on and she spoke and she answered questions that everyone's wanting to know. She cleared up a lot of things I feel that it wasn't Drew, because everyone's saying it's Drew. And
and it
where did
wasn't me.
Portia? Yeah. And like she addresses how like Portia was just lying. So it's like, is Portia just going on her page and just like spewing like whatever people are telling her? Why would she say that?
Portia was probably repeating like a rumor or something. Um,
She acted like she knew, right?
I think Portia just, I'm gonna be honest. I don't
Yeah.
think Portia has a storyline. I understand that she's going through her divorce, but there's so much of it that she can't talk about. I just don't think she has a storyline. I think that's why she's pushing this thing with Drew. Because the way she squashed it with Kelly in zero point 0.5 seconds, she could have easily squashed it with Drew as well. I don't understand the issue with Dennis filming with Drew. Somebody really gonna have to talk to me like I'm five and explain to me what the problem is.
Themes.
Yeah,
Okay, I agree too. And I love Portia, but I'm like, she's coming in and she's giving energy of like, I don't know, it doesn't feel like authentic if I'm being honest. I feel like she's putting on a show. I feel like she's doing too much. And I'm
yeah,
like, it feels forced, it feels fake. And I don't know. I'm a little turned off knowing that her and Shamia aren't good. Because I'm
yeah,
like, Shamia writes so hard for Portia through the season right now that I'm like, Portia, like, is your head that stuck in your own ass that you can't you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I don't know, it's turning me off a little bit. I still love her, but she's just, I don't know.
It's
She's not
off.
doing it. She's not
Yeah,
doing it for me this season. But them in Nashville, I was like, oh my gosh, this looks like so fun. I was like,
it
that's
looks
not the
fun.
experience I
I
had.
was about to ask, did you do any of that when you were there?
No, no, I mean, when I went, it was the CMA Fest. So it was a ton. Let's just say my sisters and I were the only colored people that weekend, where we felt so out of place. It was kind of like, oh, okay. But yeah, it looks fun, but I'm like, that's not the experience I had
Yeah,
when
you
I
gotta go
went.
again. Gotta go again and do it right.
Yeah, okay, but so back to the whole video. Is that what we want to
Yes.
say about Kenya's video?
I mean, I agree with you. I really liked it. I thought she was really well spoken. I feel like she cleared up a whole lot of things. If you had any questions at all, I strongly suggest that you go watch it on
Yeah.
Kenya's YouTube channel. She talked about how she talked to production that night. And then I do recall her putting on social media different statements about how she spoke to production that same night. And they claim to launch an investigation later.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know, oh, you know what my favorite part was is where so obviously Brit said what she said on it, Housewives.
Yeah.
And she put that statement out last summer, when it got out that like Kenya had been kicked off. She put that statement out like I would never mean to harm somebody and like I've
Mm-hmm.
never owned a weapon, blah 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 blah.
Mm.
And then Kenya put in that clip where she Brit was on a podcast
Yep.
a while ago before she even got on Housewives, and she was talking about how she always keeps a pistol on her. She's like, "Yeah, I don't go to the gas station unless I have my pistol, and I only go to certain gas stations because they have security." First of all, what gas station are you going to that has security? Because the only gas stations I know that have security is that they have cops out there because there's regular crime.
Mm.
I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know. I live in regular suburbs, so
Mm-hmm.
maybe in gated communities they have special gas stations. I don't know, but
Yeah.
sounds stupid to me.
I mean, Brit Edie, I feel like to me is just I'm over her.
So over.
I don't buy anything that she says, truly. I want to know exactly. I feel like she's not giving us the truth of why her sisters have stopped talking to her. And
We
like,
know why, because she acts like this.
right,
And I
but like
told
she
you,
pretends, but
I
I feel like
told
she
you
pretends.
in my personal life, I know somebody who has three sisters and they don't talk to her and they're not close. Like y'all don't have a relationship at all. And I feel
Mhm.
like if you don't talk to the people who grew up in the house with you, something wrong with you.
Or I just want to know, like, I want to unpack a little bit more. I feel like there's always two sides to every story. You know what I mean? So it's just, I don't know. And her marriage too. I don't know. I just
And
don't
Kenya
know.
said, Kenya was like, I feel like Britt came on, just wanting to pick a fight. We
Yep.
all think that. Everybody, if
Yep.
you don't think that, I don't know what show you're watching. Um,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
then she was like, because something happened with the job, and then like, she doesn't have much going on, and then her husband, we don't even know if he wants to. What did she say? Like, we don't even know if he wants to be there. And she was like, I'm so sorry, that wasn't supposed to be shady, but it did
No,
sound shady.
she
But
was
I thought
talking
the
about her
same.
husband's style.
Oh,
She
his
was
style.
It was his style. She was saying like,
Okay.
like she was basically saying how like Brit like has no sense of style. Like when she first meets her, she's not wearing anything special, no
Oh
designer.
yeah, yeah.
And her husband, she's like, no style either. And she's like, wait. She was like, I shouldn't have said that. But I do want to say, the part where in her video where she's like, because where I'm from, and she goes, and I don't know if I should say this. And then she says it, but they bleep it out. I'm like, I
I want to
wanted to hear
know.
that.
I
I
want to
wanted to
know.
hear that. I'm like, okay, could it be worse than what Brit Edie said? You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. Now, I feel like, okay, here's the thing. I love that Kenya took accountability. She did take full accountability, but I feel like she did also take accountability beforehand when she went on the talk show a couple months ago. But of course, it's coming out on air for
mhm,
the first time, so she had to do it again. Um, but to me, when I listened to it, it sounded like she was apologetic for the manner in which she did it, not necessarily that she aired out the information. And
mhm,
that's probably 100% how I would feel as well. Because I had said before when it happened, like she probably shouldn't have plastered photos of it, but I spreading the information
mhm.
100%.
And so let me ask this because on Watch What Happens Live, Brit Edie says that Kenya has publicly like apologized to her cast members, saying that it was wrong. And she's like, but she hasn't like reached out to me personally to say, like, I'm sorry that that I did this. So do you feel Kenya owes her that or no? No. Okay.
No, that's gonna I know somebody's gonna be like, oh, you're such a
No,
B
see,
word, but
this is where I feel like I love Kenya. Like I love her, I ride for her, but for me, like if it were me, I feel like if I'm making an apology, I'd have to do it to that person so that they know that like, hey, what I did was wrong and I'm sorry. I'm sorry that it hurt you and it was wrong.
But that's what I'm
Um,
saying. I don't think she was sorry that she, I don't think she's sorry
yeah.
that she did it. I think she's sorry for the manner in which she did it, in which case there's no need to apologize to Brit because Brit was not there. And this is not me justifying that Kenya was right or wrong. This is just
Hmm.
me in general in the situation. If you're not sorry, if you're not actually sorry for the hurt that you caused that person, then don't apologize.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think she's sorry that she hurt Brit, which
Oh,
if you're not
absolutely.
sorry, you're not sorry. Like
I
whatever.
don't think she's
Right.
sorry
So
for
then there's no
her.
reason to apologize. She's not sorry that Britt got hurt. She's not sorry she put the information out there. She probably
Yeah.
apologized to the cast because they were innocent bystanders and they were obviously uncomfortable with the situation. So then that's why she would apologize. Um, but yeah, otherwise there's no reason to apologize to
Yeah,
Britt.
I
Britt
get it.
Britt did try to apologize for the weapon comment. But it was too little too late. Britt also apologized to everyone else before she actually apologized to Kenya. She could have
Hmm.
called her before the event, to get on the same page
Hmm.
before going to the event.
Oh, I don't think Brit was sorry for the comment. And I think that production and her team got in her ear right away. And they're like, this is how you need to handle it moving forward. But she was not sorry. She was not sorry. But I have to ask, because I wanted to know, there's a comment when she's like, when they ask her, like, how are her and Cynthia? And she's like, we're not going to talk about Cynthia. And I was like, oof. I was like, that, like, I feel like that hits a nerve for Kenya. And I want to know because Cynthia has done a couple interviews where she says she's reached out to Kenya and Kenya hasn't responded to her. So I'm like, is Kenya upset because like Cynthia left and didn't go, didn't stay there? Like, I
I
just
mean,
want to
she
know.
talked to her before she left though, and she did try to tell her like that wasn't cool. Um, I think I think Kenya's just really hard-headed and she gets easily hurt and has like trust issues and stuff from like,
Mhm.
her childhood that she's talked about on the show and stuff. So I
Mhm.
think that whenever she feels wronged by somebody, whether she actually was or not, I think she's the type of person who takes it too far and she'll just like kind of cut people off and just say like, "Oh, whatever, like you did me dirty." You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah, that's where
takes
I'm
her
like,
longer. It takes her longer than others to come back around. So I don't
mhm.
think her and Cynthia are done forever. I think Kenya's just good at shutting people out.
Yeah, and that's where I feel like you can see a little bit of trauma there as well, like you said, because I'm just like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, if you can't be honest in a friendship and you guys can't call each other out, it's even when it hurts and even when it sucks, it's like, I mean, Cynthia didn't do anything wrong. She was like, that wasn't cool. I don't, and I know Cynthia values their friendship too. I know, like, I know they,
We do know. We talked to her.
we do, yeah. But anyways, yeah, so that was interesting. And she's like, we're not gonna talk about Cynthia. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Um, and this episode, what is with Angela's hair? I did not like her hair
You didn't
this
like her
episode.
wig?
No, when she lands in Nashville and she's late, she's such a hot mess. She's always such a hot mess that like she shows up and like her wig's like like all over her glasses,
Girl, is
and
she
she's like,
she got
oh,
a lot going on. No,
she's like, oh,
I
she's in the house and she's like, oh, it's so hot in here, and I'm just like, what? And everyone just clowns on her, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, she's so funny. Um,
she got on
but
my nerves this episode though.
she, production was like, you need to get Drew to come out and you need to bring this to the girls. I mean, it's not, I don't think she wanted to do it, but she had to do it. And it just made her look so bad. And Portia's got some good friends, man, because they were all like, what? Are you crazy? Like, why would you? And I'm like, Portia's got some good girls behind her.
Yeah, she does, even though she's not a good friend.
I know, which I'm like, I just can't. But Angela
Oh, but
did,
wait. Sorry, I just thought
no,
about this. You
yeah.
remember when in the beginning and like when they first got there and Britt was like, "Oh yeah, like they were talking about the weather change." And she was like, "Yeah, because with all this pollen, like I'm gonna be so stopped up." And I was like, You're not now? What? What do you mean you're gonna be stopped up? Somebody get her some Allegra right now, because ain't no way. Ain't no way.
I know. I heard that comment and I was like, I was like, what? Um, but then, yeah. Oh, okay. We gotta talk about what about Drew and Ralph when
Ralph.
they go to court? Like, how did you feel about that situation? My heart felt for Drew. I'm not gonna lie.
I feel like from it's really easy to see a situation for what it is when you're watching it play out. So like we're watching it play out on TV, right? Like so we under even though like we're not there, we understand more of the backstory. But like once you get in court, it's hard to condense all of that information that you have into on paper receipts and express it to a judge. And I know from like my own personal situation, I didn't go through a divorce or anything, but just
Mm-hmm.
with my oldest and that
Yeah.
man,
Mm-hmm.
like just having to explain to people and make them understand the truth as opposed to listening to a compelling story, it's pretty difficult. So like it's not that I know how Drew is and her reputation for being a liar on the show. However, this just doesn't sound right. You mean to tell me that Drew Sidora, who may not be an A-list actress, but she's had an extensive career, right?
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
mean to tell me that she's broke and she doesn't have any money at all, and you, who we don't even know what you do, and you can't even put it down on paper and present financial facts on paper, you
Mm-hmm.
pay all the bills in the house? You know what I'm saying? Like it's just something sounds off. Like,
Something sounds so off. I agree. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
no, go
off.
ahead.
There's like a part of me that like I always will like I usually will always side with the woman. I mean, my mom was a single mom and my dad was president, so I just want to say that. But like but there is a part of me where I'm like, I can't stand Ralph, first of all. He bothers me so much. First
So
of all, he is a housewife on the show. Like he wants to be on the show so freaking bad.
who
Seeing
was
him,
filming his home video when he went to court and it said Ralph's home video? I was like, sir, why are you
this
filming?
guy has he's ready to take Drew's spot. Like the next season,
Guys,
push Drew out. Ralph's coming in hot.
did they ask you to film? Why are you filming? Did you hire someone just to film? 'Cause
He
when it came up, the way it was filmed, I thought it was production at first.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. So I can't stand Ralph. But then a part of me is like, you know what? She's so upset about like the court documents being unsealed, which I get why she doesn't want it to be. So we hear her side, and then you hear Ralph's side where he's like, I don't want to unseal this either. I don't want people knowing about our business. He goes, but we need to be at an even playing field. He's like, so we're gonna air out everything. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm just like, what is it? Like now I'm like starting to think maybe she's done stuff that has caused him to retaliate. You get what I'm saying? It just seems so messy.
I'm sure she's done things. I don't think there's ever um one person who was totally innocent or whatever. My thing is though, it's kind of like when a guy cheats on or when one person cheats on the other, okay? It could be man or a woman. So one spouse cheats on the other, and then people will say, "Well, what did you do to make them cheat?" I didn't do anything to make them cheat. They
Hmm.
decided to cheat, and it may have been because I did A, B, and C.
Hmm.
But that still doesn't, that's not a reason for you to cheat. If you don't like what I'm doing, you talk to me about it, we work through it, or you leave. Those are your options.
Yeah, and I agree. And I just have to ask if, I mean, I get it. It's so much harder to just leave, but like, why can't Drew just leave with her kids and go downsize to, I don't know, like,
Because in Georgia, I'll tell you why, because I have a friend who's going through a divorce
okay, yeah, tell
in
us.
Georgia, or just went through a divorce in Georgia. When you're the spouse who leaves, you're the one who's leaving the relationship. That's how the law sees it. So if
Oh,
you
so they
decide,
both, oh,
right,
I
so if
see.
she took the kids and she left, then the judge would say, well, you ruined the relationship. Like, I understand he cheated on you, but you ultimately ended the relationship because you left the home. That's how they view it. Yeah.
So they're both like, well, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. And
Yeah.
first of all, why would he leave? He has a whole freaking crib
Right.
downstairs. He has a theater downstairs for crying out loud. So I get it. And I was just like, Drew, like, why don't you just leave for like mental peace? But now it makes
Can't.
sense. Dang, that's
But I
crazy.
said the same thing to my friend. I was like, why don't you just go? Like, if he don't want you there, then just bye. But she was like, my attorney said, da 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 da. Because I went through the same thing with my oldest and that man. I mean, we weren't together, we weren't married, we weren't living together. But it was like, if I take my daughter and I leave the state, then I'm taking her away,
Wow.
regardless of
Wow.
his actions. I'm taking her away.
That's crazy.
Right.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of, I feel like this season, the real stories that the women are going through right now, Drew's divorce, Angela's situation with like her mom and her sister and her daughter, Kelly's situation with her husband, you know what I mean? Like
Intense.
intense.
Oh,
And
I'm
then,
sorry. Did you hear that Angela, the reason that the family was upset, not the reason, but the rumor that Angela's family was upset about her oldest daughter getting married and not telling anyone is because she married a woman.
oh,
Did you hear that?
I did.
You're
No, I
like,
did.
oh.
I wasn't expecting that.
I
So,
I saw it. I saw it a couple places online, and
oh,
then
I
I
didn't
had to
see
like
that.
I meant to deep dive into it, and I
But so
forgot.
did Angela know that her daughter was, I mean, I don't know if she's bisexual or I don't know if she's a lesbian, but
I don't
like, did
know.
Angela know? Okay, well, I'm
She hasn't
right
said
there.
anything about it, but like that's what it's being reported. So I don't know. I
Yeah.
haven't deep dive.
Okay. I mean, I, I just think in general, if your child were to get married and then not tell you, wouldn't you be like, what? Like,
I mean, Mary went through that on Salt Lake, where she
Mary,
had to ask
man.
her son,
Oh,
like,
that's right.
yeah. And
That's right.
I can't imagine. I mean, I don't know. I talk to my mom like 4 or 5 times a day. So
I mean, I'm still scared of my mom and I'm 34 and like my mom,
I'm not I'm not scared of my mom, but
her mom.
I just tell her things.
Oh, that's funny because I can't tell my mom everything. My mom's very, how do I say this? Like she just sometimes doesn't get it. So unfortunately, I can't like be too honest. When I am honest with her, woof, she's like, telling me all these things. I'm like, what?
She's
This
like,
is what
slow
I get.
down, slow
Yeah,
down.
like, this is what I get for being honest. But I would tell my mom if I was getting married. You know what I mean? Yeah. But again, I I'm excited for next week's episode. This episode was okay.
Yeah.
Um,
This was like this is what I call the setup episode. Like you have to watch it
filler.
to get the backstory
Mhm.
so you can see the explosion.
Yeah, yeah. But okay, that was really good. I'm glad we watched the YouTube on for Kenya as well. Let us know what you guys think. Like, leave a comment, save, share, subscribe. Thank you guys always so much for tuning
And
in.
don't forget to follow us on all the things, Instagram, TikTok, Threads. Make sure, like she said, you subscribe below because we are really getting into some serious discussions and we need your input. So follow us and thank you guys.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.